Hello everyone, this is R.Sudhakar Reddy, Assistant Professor, Department of Mining Engineering, Aditya University. Today's lecture, that is learning outcomes. After this lecture, students are able to know about all the explosives like things which are incorporated in the coal mines regulations. So coming to the short firing tools. So these are the important tools which they have to carry. I mean the short firer has to carry these tools for doing charging of explosives. So what are the short firing tools means? Suitable short firing apparatus. A suitable short firing apparatus is nothing but an exploder which supplies current for initiating the circuit, and a suitable short firing cable. The cable, it is the bridge between exploder and a circuit. So these short firing cable depends generally depends upon the how far a shelter is available from blasting site. So sometimes we generally keep 40 meters, 50 meters like that. So depending upon the, I mean to say, how nearer, if you want to do that one, you have to create a shelter. That is one of the important things. A suitable electric lamp or torch, a whistle and stopwatch. These are the important things actually. Torch means, for example, if the hole is there, if any obstruction is there, to see whether the hole is clear or not. And whistle. So generally after charging, whistling is done. So that any persons who are in the vicinity, I mean to say, we have to take a clearance within the 500 meters. So generally blasting crew will be sent in all directions so that no animals or no human beings will be there surrounding within the 500 meters radius. So that's why whistling is done. It is sometimes done manually, it is sometimes done artificially also. And similarly stopwatch means when to come back. Generally it is sometimes 5 minutes, in case of underground 15 minutes, depending upon how the dilution of fumes happen. Okay. And a tool made entirely of wood, suitable for charging and stemming short holes. Why entirely of wood means? Because if it is used iron, there is chances of spark, which is chances of initiating explosive. So accidental blasting should not happen. That is the main purpose. This short firing tool should made up of wood. A scraper made of brass or wood, suitable for cleaning out short holes. So if short hole is not clean, so only a scraper should be used to clean the short holes. This is generally done in underground only, not in the open cast. A pair of suitable crimpers for crimping detonators. For example, explosive can't fire itself. Explosive, when fitted with a detonator, that is called primer. For keeping detonator securely fixed to the explosive, a crimper is required. So that crimping is done by skilled blasting crew. And where detonators are used, a pricker made of wood or a non-ferrous material for priming cartridges. So this is one of the important thing. So to make a hole in the explosive, a pricker is used, which is generally made up of wood. And a suitable tool for detecting cracks. So generally it happens whenever the strata is cracked, that data, generally feedback is given by the driller, because he gives them whether the strata is hard or soft. So whenever short firer, so if he has to take the feedback of driller also when charging the explosive. So sometimes if the strata is loose, he has to give less explosive. If the strata is hard, he have to change the quantity of explosive in that particular hole. A methanometer for detection of inflammable gas in case of solid blasting. Solid blasting means generally it is whenever gases are there, they have to adhere to solid blasting. It is done by P5 explosives only. So in such cases, preliminarily you have to do checking of percentage of inflammable gas. So yesterday we had discussed about what should be the percentage of inflammable gas in case of general body of air. It should not be more than 0.75. At any place, it should not be more than 1.25. So for this, we use methanometer for measuring quantity of inflammable gas. And circuit tester. This is one of the important thing. Before connecting short firing cable to the exploder, the circuit should be tested with the circuit tester. So if any flaw is there, circuit tester doesn't read the reading which we want. So then you have to check individually. And coming to drilling, charging, stemming and firing. Right now we have just covered short firing tools. Now we are going for drilling, charging, stemming and firing. No drill shall be used for drilling a short hole unless it allows a clearance of at least 30 mm, 0.3 centimeters over the diameter of the cartridge of the explosive which is intended to use. So for example, if you want to insert a explosive it should not be tight, it should go easily. So that gap, that gap, minimum gap is 0.3 centimeters, and you should not keep more gap also. If the explosive is confined only, it will give good results. If it is not confined properly, it doesn't give good results. And no shot hole shall be charged before it is thoroughly cleaned. That is one of the important points. Generally, in case of open cast mines, when we are working, we use to check the height of the hole with the help of a rope, and a small stone is tied at the bottom of the rope. So if the hole is exactly what the driller has drilled, then no problem. If the hole is not properly up to the distance which driller is drilled, then we have to again drill, or sometimes we have to reduce the quantity of explosive. Sometimes it results in the toe problems also. Before any shot hole is charged, the direction of the hole shall be practicably be distinctly marked on the roof. So this is to be done in the underground only. Okay. So in case of wedge cut, pyramid cut, to direction of the holes, they have to manage. Okay. No detonator shall be inserted into a priming cartridge until immediately before it is to be used. Suppose if you are doing blasting, right now the time is 10:30. If you are doing blasting at 11 o'clock, then it is okay. Otherwise, if you are doing a charging of explosives at 7 a.m. and it's not allowed, just 10 or 20 minutes or 30 minutes before doing the blasting, you have to do priming the cartridges. And you understand what is the priming cartridges means. The cartridge to which a detonator is tied or something initiator is tied, that is called priming cartridge. Other cartridges will not be tied to some initiators. However, that in case of wet workings, priming cartridges may be prepared at the nearest convenient dry place, and such primed cartridges shall be carried to the working place in a securely closed case or container. I don't think because we never carried primarily that primer cartridges, we do whatever nearest to the place where we are going to blast, and we do all these things. And detonators once inserted into a priming cartridge shall not be taken out. That is one of the important things. In below ground workings, the explosives in the shot hole shall be of same type. So this is one of the important things. You are doing blasting, as explosives of the same type. Should not use explosive of A company, explosive of B company. If you are going to use it, but different holes you can plan. But in the same hole, don't use different companies of explosives in the same hole. In open cast mines, use two types of explosive in short hole. The manager should frame enforced standing orders for the safe use of explosives. A copy of the same shall be submitted. If you want to use the two types of explosives, generally most of the mines use two types of explosives in the open cast mines, because some explosives may be high density, some explosives low density. So depending upon the strata, they can use different types of explosives. For that, you need to get permission from regional inspector, that is called DDMS, Deputy Director Mine Safety. The shot firer shall, to the best of his judgment, ensure that no shot hole should be overcharged or undercharged. Then what do you mean by overcharging or undercharging? Overcharging means, for example, you have checked the burden. For example, I am telling about on open cast mines. You have checked the burden, spacing, all these things, and you did the charging. Especially I am talking about the front row. But the excavator is working in the front row, he has reduced the burden, then the quantity of explosive is overcharged. In case of undercharged, actually just now we have discussed, the driller has drilled the hole of 10 meters, but due to caving of the hole, it remained 8.5 meters, but you did give explosives for 10 meters, then it is called, this is also overcharged. Undercharged means actually, for example, I will say, in case of deck loading, we will give explosives at different places, and while doing deck loading, sometimes calculations fail you and you undercharge it, which results in the formation of more boulders. This is one of the important things. Okay. Sometimes due to unable to know the properties of explosives and keeping less quantity of explosive in the hole, it also results in the boulder problem, that is called undercharged. Undercharged generally results in the boulder problem. Overcharged results in the formation of powder. So you should not do either overcharging or undercharging. It should be optimum charging. Shot should be fired vertically by means of instruments or apparatus. So always you have to connect the circuit to the shot firing cable and shot firing cable to the exploder, and exploder or shot firing cable should be approved by the Chief Inspector of the Mines, that is Director General of Mine Safety. Every shot hole shall be stemmed with sufficient and suitable non-inflammable stemming metal so as to prevent shot from blowing out. So I already told you just before, the explosion should be properly confined. How do you do that confinement? Means with the help of stemming material. The stemming material should be non-inflammable. Generally, we use the drill cuttings. If the drill cuttings doesn't serve the purpose properly, then you have to use some other things, just like water ampoules, sometimes clay, all these things. So sometimes stone aggregate also used, but generally clay and drill cuttings are preferred as stemming material. And while doing stemming, you have to use very gentle. And only sand loosely filled in or soft clay. Just now I am telling what are the materials used as a stemming material. Sand, soft clay, lightly pressed home or compact but not hard mixture of sand, clay. So it should not be hard, it should be soft. And water should also be used as a stemming material. Just now I told. So we can use water, we can use sand, we can use clay also, but there should be in the soft consistency. In charging or stemming a short hole, no metallic tool, scraper, rod shall be used. So if you want to do stemming, the stemming should be done by a rod which should be made of only wooden. No explosive shall be forcibly pressed into the sole of its insufficient size. So actually there is a decoupling, one statement is there where explosive of certain diameter suits hole of certain diameters. For example, I will just giving one diagram. This is the hole in case of underground. The explosive should be like this. It should not be like this. I am giving another diagram, not like this. This is wrong and this is right. So decoupling means actually almost more confinement, nearly confinement, whereas if decoupling is not there, then the result of explosive will not be that much effective. No shot shall be fired except in the properly drilled, charged and stemming shot hole. All surplus explosives shall be removed from the vicinity of the shot hole before connecting the shot hole. This is one of the important things. Generally, we never feel any surplus explosives because we calculate explosives before after taking the holes into account. Then we will get the explosive from the magazine. So we do accordingly. Very rarely explosive will be sent back to the reserve station or magazine which is nearby. Right. As far as practicable, a shot shall be fired by the same shot firer who charged it. So this is one of the important thing. So generally, a shot firer once after charging the explosives, he only should do the firing. He should not give it to the other duty shot firer. No shot hole shall be charged except those which are to be fired in that round, and all the shot holes which have been charged all fired in one round. So naturally this should happen in one round, but sometimes 2 rounds means you have to take 2 times clearance. So that is time consuming and again unproductive time. That is we can lose some time because loading, all these things. Okay. Coming to electric shot firing. So right now we have covered about charging of explosives, we have covered about shot firing tools. Then third topic is electric shot firing. No shot shall be fired except by means of suitable shot firing apparatus. Once again, we have to use only exploder. And every electrical shot firing apparatus shall be so constructed and used that it can be operated by removable handle. Once it is used, that handle should be taken out and it should be in the possession of shot firer only. The handle or plug shall not be placed in the position until a shot is about to fire. For example, you are keeping the handle continuously to the exploder, it is not the good practice. You have to take that out and keep in the position of the shot firer. The firing circuit is made and broken either automatically by means of push button switch. So there is one option is there, firing circuit can be connected and disconnected. There should be separate switch. No shot firing apparatus shall be used which is defective. Though generally it is not done because it is a very problematic thing actually. We can't use any exploders which is defective. Generally, every company will be having 2 or 3 exploders because that doesn't cost much. And every apparatus shall once, at least in every 3 months, be tested by a competent person to ascertain whether it is in safe working order. This is one of the important things. So overhauling of the exploder should happen once in 3 months. Just like I am taking medical test every 1 year because that is mandatory if you pass certain age. And if the apparatus fails to fire all the shots in a properly connected circuit, the shot firer shall return the apparatus to the manager or assistant manager as soon as possible, and it should not be used again if it is not fired, able to not fire, because then you have to abandon it and see that it should be properly repaired. Unless it is properly repaired, you should not use it. The result of every test made under sub-regulation 3(4) shall be recorded in the bound page kept book for the purpose, because, for example, exploder A, exploder B, exploder C, if any such overhauling or some repair is done, then that should be that should be notified in a bound page book kept for the purpose, so and so exploder, so and so repair has done. No current from a signaling, lighting or power circuit shall be used for firing tools. Just now this is repeated and repeated, because we cannot use power from the power sources. We have to use power from exploder only for firing the shots. The shot firer shall retain the key of the firing apparatus in his position throughout the shift. So this is one of the important, just like bank manager keeping bank keys, complete locker keys. So here also shot firer should keep key in his position all throughout the shift. A well insulated cable of sufficient length. This is a well insulated means because sometimes cable loses insulation. At that time, the this continuity meter shows some erroneous readings. So always use well insulated cable of sufficient length to permit him to take proper shelter in case of below ground, sufficient to take right angles in terms of pillar, and in no case the cable should be less than. Just now we have discussed in earlier. The minimum length of cable is 50 meters. In case of underground, this may be less than, but you have to take 2 right angles. 2 right angles means like this. Here you are doing blasting phase. Blasting is going on. So when you stand here, no need to problem, because all the fly rock will go in this way. Understand? And before coupling the cable to the firing apparatus, couple up the cable himself to the detonator. So it is a shot firer who has to first connect all the detonators to the explosives, then detonators completely, and complete the circuit, then circuit to the cable, and then cable to the exploder. I will just give action first detonator, then explosive, then to circuit, then to cable, then to exploder. This is the sequence of action which should happen. Understand? Take care to prevent the cable from coming into contact with any power. You have to see that the short wire cable which is used for firing, it should not get accidentally in contact with the power, the lighting cable or something. Take adequate precautions to protect electrical conductors and apparatus from injury. This is one of the important things. And he should himself couple the cable to the short wiring cable. Of course, a blasting team consists of generally 5 or 6 or 7 depending upon the number of holes. But it is the duty of shot firer to he himself couple the cable. He should not give this responsibility to his subordinates. After firing the shots, before entering the place of firing, disconnect the cable and from. So once exploder has supplied current and blasting has happened, then immediately disconnect the shot firing cable, then go to the site after 5 minutes, means after dilution of the fumes. So where more than one shot are to be fired at the same time, care shall be taken all the connections are properly made. This is one of the term, because you have to circuit tester is given, you have to check that connections are properly made. And if fired below ground, they should be connected in the series, not in the parallel. Then only you will be able to check the circuit. The circuit shall be tested either for a electrical resistance, so you can check the electrical resistance, or continuity. Continuity meters can be used for checking the ampere or for ohms. Before connecting it to the firing apparatus, which shall be made within an apparatus specifically designed for purpose and only for after all persons in the vicinity. And so whoever doing the blasting, they should take proper shelter because they are in the vicinity. The cable to the shot firing apparatus shall be connected last. So that's why before firing only that cable should be connected to the exploder. And misfire. After firing the shots electrically, no person shall re-enter or to be permitted to re-enter the place until 5 minutes after the source of electricity has been disconnected. So you have done the blasting. So you have to wait for the 5 minutes, then disconnect the shot firing cable, then allow others to enter the site. In the event of a misfire, the entrances to the working place shall be fenced. So what do you mean by fencing? Means it's not a fencing just like barbed wire. Fencing in the open cast or underground means just keeping red flags, so as to prevent inadvertent cases, and no work other than the localizing or relieving the misfire shall be done therein until the misfire has been located and relieved. So this process should be, that red flag should be kept still then misfire is located and relieved. In open cast workings, it shall be sufficient to mark the place of the misfire with a red flag. Just now I told you. In the event of misfire, a second charge shall not be placed inside the same hole. You should not keep second charge inside the hole. You have to do some other relieving hole, then some other charge should be kept and you have to blast it. In the misfire, if the misfire contains a detonator, the leads thereof shall be attached by string to the short firing cable and do the blasting. If the detonator is having leads, if the detonator is not having leads, then you have to do another relieving hole which is little bit far away, that is minimum distance is 15 centimeters. Except where the misfire is due to faulty cable or faulty connection and the shot is fired as soon as practicable after the defect is remedied. So, if it is due to short firing cable, it can be done by using the proper short firing cable. Another shot shall be fired in the relieving hole which shall be so placed and drilled in such a direction that no point shall nearer than 30 centimeters. Now, I told 15, it should be 30 centimeters gap from the misfired shot. After relieving shot has been fired, a careful search for cartridges and detonators, if any, shall be made in presence of the shot firer among the material brought down by the shot. If a misfired shot hole is dislodged by relieving shot, the procedure is laid down in sub-regulation. So, if misfire is fired by doing some procedure, after firing you have to check for detonator and explosive. If everything is okay, then happy. If again means, so the procedure has to be repeated again, still detonator, you have to search for detonator and explosive. If you are unable to find out, means you have done successful procedure for carrying out misfire, means dislodgement of misfire. A misfire hole which cannot be dealt in the manner so provided shall be securely plugged with a wooden plug, and no person, shot firer or an official person authorized for purpose shall remove or attempt. So, in case it is not possible to do in the same day, then it should be properly plugged with a wooden plug. Actually, we never take such risk. Actually, we do deal that misfired, even it is late also. We will give overtime, we will do that one, because this is a potential danger, because what happens in the next shift we doesn't know. When a misfired shot is not found or when a misfired shot is not relieved, the shot firer shall be, before leaving the mine, give information to the failure to such shot firer or official as may relieve, make some other charge to him. So, whenever he is unable to do, then he has to inform the same to the mines manager, and he has to record the same thing in the bound page receipt kept for the purpose. Sign the report and record the same thing in the book. The shot firer of the next shift shall locate and blast the misfired hole, but if after thorough examination of the hole, the place where the misfire is reported to have occurred, he is satisfied that no misfire has actually occurred, so he may permit the drilling in the place. So, after all this procedure, if the shot fire is unable to find and if the total entire thing is handed to the another shot fire in the next shift, then he has to check, and then only once he gives clearance, then only drilling will happen. In case of open cast mines, the owner, agent, manager of a mine shall draw up a plan which shall instruct all shot firers and detailed procedures to be followed in the event of misfired shot. So, misfire is one of the unexpected thing. No shot firer expects such type of things. If it happens, so owner, agent, manager shall draw up a plan, shall create a plan whenever such thing happens, what to do, how to do. And today we have discussed about shot firing tools, charging of explosives, and how a misfire can be dealt, all these things. Thank you.